What is perfectly legal but creepy as hell? Paparazzi. It is considered creepy for me to be taking pictures of my neighbors, but apparently it's fine if it's a celebrity. Always baffled me. I've always wanted to make a magazine dedicated to following the lives of members of the paparazzi. Take candid photos of them with their family. Write ridiculous articles on what they're eating or wearing. Ideally intrude on their privacy so much they complain, and then point out the delicious irony. Daniel Radcliffe pissed off the paparazzi once by wearing the same outfit publicly for weeks. Looking at other people at the beach or pool through binoculars. We had this real prick of a neighbor who would look in our back sliding door with binoculars. My mother called the police, and he told them that he was bird watching in the middle of his yard, facing our back door. She ended up making this large lattice thing with fake flowers woven in it to block his view. I saw a news story about a girl who covered herself in dead horse blood and guts while nude and took pictures of it. All charges were dropped as it was determined she was over 18 and just found a dead horse rather than killing it. Having sex with someone you held as a baby after they're 18. I know someone whose dad remarried to one of her childhood friends. They grew up together. I went to a 4th of July party at their lake house once. He said something along the lines of, "It's sort of amazing watching your wife grow up in front of your eyes." We took a walk after that, licking the air around a stranger's head. I worked at a restaurant that had an older fellow, 65 to 70, marrying a 16 years old with her parents' permission. The ceremony was just the weird old guy, the creepy parents, the even creepier minister, and the sad-looking young woman. Everyone, besides the poor girl, at least till she finds a healthier relationship, and that ceremony can go get fucked. A lot of those situations are a result of the girl being molested, raped, and or impregnated by an older man, and the parents forcing her to marry her rapist so that it looks socially acceptable. It's a surprisingly common problem even in the US, with some victims as young as 12. Staring at strangers intently for an extended period of time. Rebirthing. Basically, they wrap someone up in blankets and have several people sit on them in an attempt to replicate the feeling of being born. It's used for kids with reactive attachment disorder to attach to their parents/adopted parent. So far, it's only been outlawed in 2 states, one of the Carolinas and Colorado. I don't see this working. How the hell is fighting to get out of a blanket with some bitch on top of you supposed to make you more attached to your parents? Even if it did replicate the feeling of being born, you are still the same person with the same memories and issues. Only now you are sweaty, very angry, and your hair is probably a tangled mess. I see some severe claustrophobia and perhaps PTSD in these children's futures. I'm a systems analyst for a government office which acts as an ISP for public K-12 schools. A few years ago, I got asked to assist with a situation where a student had reported seeing child pornography on a teacher's personal laptop. Now apparently this student had some behavioral issues in the past and was known for making things up because the faculty was determined not to approach the teacher or the police until there was concrete evidence. Unfortunately, because it was a personal device, we couldn't legally search it without a court order, so I decided to closely monitor his online activity. I quickly discovered that he was frequently visiting so-called child modeling websites, something I didn't even know existed until then. These sites feature little girls in provocative poses wearing string bikinis and other revealing attire, and because there is no actual nudity, they are completely legal. I presented the data to the school principal, and the teacher was fired for violating the MOU he signed when he connected his laptop to the school Wi-Fi. There was no legal action taken against him, however, and from what I understand, they had to be very careful when drafting his termination notice for fear that he could sue for wrongful dismissal. Sitting in your car and pointing a hairdryer at passing traffic. Necrophilia is legal in some states, including in states where sodomy is illegal. I've always wondered if it's legal to sodomize a corpse. There is a guy in our neighborhood that walks his pit bull back and forth in front of the local elementary school with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire McFoley style. He doesn't talk to anyone, and he only does it Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Edit. I don't go near him, but for one time. My daughter is 14 months old, and we were walking up to the playground, and she threw her cuppy out of the stroller. It rolled over by him. I walked over, picked it up, and he looks at me, then looks at her and says, "Cute kid. There are a lot of cute kids these days." I was like, thanks. Edit 2. We live in a small town in Pennsylvania. The police know of the situation, and when new people move into the area, they get calls about it. The guy has done me nor anyone I know any harm, and while I think it's creepy, I wish no ill will towards him. Memorizing the age of consent in every state or country. Child pageants. Yeah, the creepiest of recreational activities. I'm amazed that someone hasn't put a stop to those. Investigating strangers' social media. You know how every now and then there's a comment on here that gains some traction. That's basically, "I deleted my last account because a stalker found out it was me," followed by a few adventurous souls that always go, "Oh, can anyone do that to me? Someone tried to find out who I am." Well, people can. I've done that once or twice, just to see if I could. I've found at least one person's real-life name, address, phone number, and family members. And guess what? Not illegal, given you're not threatening them or anything. I totally agree with you, Brian. How's Rhode Island this time of year, Mike? That a rapist has parental rights and can sue their victim for child custody. A good friend of mine lives in a major East Coast city. As a single woman, she is extra cautious. She was the victim of a known local Instagram celebrity this weekend. Basically, this guy follows people, guys and girls, around and records them. When they get annoyed and tell him to stop, he gets more and more obnoxious, trying to get a reaction. He is careful not to cross the legal line for stalking, etc., and does it in public. So B. Expectation of privacy. He then posts the inevitable freakout online. Good horror movies. Paying Girl Scouts to dance for you. Wait, what? Yes, officer, this comment right here. Smelling strangers. In an obvious way, sniffing, with eye contact, followed by a smile, but from a couple feet away. When you are 35 and is friend with a 17-years-old girl, and just waiting when she will turn 18. Sitting next to someone on a bus/public transport when there are other empty seats available. Just yesterday, a male customer in my pizzeria took a picture of a female customer's butt. Another customer saw and informed her. She was very upset and called the police. We tried to help her, but unfortunately there is nothing illegal about what he did. Someone I know has a cousin that has 3 babies with 3 different dads. She married one of her baby daddy's fathers. So the baby daddy and his own kid are technically stepbrothers. Telling people you're on birth control so you can intentionally get pregnant, and then demanding child support for 18 years. I've heard it's become illegal in Switzerland, lying about pill, STDs, etc. before a sexual intercourse revokes any consent and is considered rape. Sticking your face in the urinal and taking a big whiff in a public bathroom whenever someone walks in. What a fact? Getting DMs from someone you've never met telling you all the things they like about you. In Massachusetts, you can marry with parental consent at the age of 12. Government surveillance. Standing too close to total strangers. Lobbying. Filming people in public for no reason. I totally understand freedom of the press and no expectation of privacy in public, but it's still weird. Recording every minute of your kid's life. And sharing it on social media. Amway. Somehow. Yoga spectating. Robocalling the shit out of you with spoofed phone numbers every few minutes. Watching people while slowly and seductively lick a popsicle. Tasting someone's sweat to see if they are lying. What is perfectly legal but very creepy? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.